Hi, my name is Bill Bradley. I'm an extreme endurance athlete, and this is my video newsletter. The topic of today's newsletter is amazing comes in all sizes. Recently I had a question asked me at one of my motivational talks, and a lady asked me, how do you get started? How should I get started, Bill? And I said, well, go out. If you haven't done anything, maybe sign up for a 5K. And just practice doing a 5K, do run, walk, whatever you can do to make that 5K. Just sign up and then figure out, the training that would be necessary to do that type of a race. Let's just get out there and make sure you can last 3 miles. And then I said, then you go to a 10K and you keep challenging yourself and you keep moving up. Now my buddy Tim, I want to tell you about my buddy Tim. So he's an engineer in San Francisco, building chief. Really, important position. And he is a big guy. He came to me, he was having health issues. He was around 50 years old. He was weighing 330 pounds. And he said to me, Bill, he goes, I got to get motivated. I have to get my weight down. I'm having health issues. And I said, and I thought about it for a second or two, and I was thinking 5K, 10K, sounds too easy for Tim. I said, we need to do a marathon, Tim. I said, we need to do a marathon. I said, what's your weight what's your goal weight you should get to? What's your goal weight you think you should be at? He said, 250, Bill. From 330 to 250. Tim is a big guy. Like if he played football, he would be a lineman. He's just big. He's got big muscles, everything. So he's a big guy. So I go, okay, Tim, you got to lose 80 pounds in. Let's figure that out. 2 pounds a week, and we figured out it was like 8 or 9 months or something like that, right? So I said, let's pick out a marathon. I couldn't give Tim a 5K or a 10K. Or even a half marathon. We need a big goal for Tim. So I said, let's do a marathon. And so we went over to his computer and we looked for a marathon around that time. And the one we found was the CIM, the California International Marathon. It's up out of Sacramento. And we signed up that day. And Tim started to train, right? And he got down, he lost, over the next couple months, he lost like 30 pounds. He was down to 300 pounds. He was definitely on target. Well, then Tim changed jobs. And he got a job in another building, like a data center, so it had a lot of overtime. And so his training went way down. And his weight loss stopped. It stopped at like 300 pounds. And then I remember that marathon was coming up, and I thought, I thought Tim wasn't going to do it because he had everything had peaked. And I remember, but he had told me before, he says, Bill, I have never stopped walking in my life. I can always keep going forward. And I remember like a month before, he came up to me and he says, Bill, we're still going to go up and do that marathon, aren't we? And I said, whoa, Tim, okay. So you're going to do it. What weight are you down to? He said, 300. I said, okay, let's do it at 300. And so anyway, I remember I went and we went up there, and I remember I picked Tim up at his house. We were both driving up together. We were staying up at the same hotel and everything. And I was going to do I was doing the marathon too. And our plan was, well, first is I went by his house and I picked him up. And I'm the last guy to tell you, to not make it. I'm like, you just make it at all costs, whatever it takes, Tim, I don't care, crawl. But I remember as soon as we left his house, his wife, the last thing she said to me was, this is his wife at the time, and she goes, you take care of my Timmy. I said, oh man, way to lay that one on me. Tim had 3 kids. I'm thinking like, geez, if anything happens to Tim, his kids are going to end up on my doorstep. And so I said, okay, Tim, trust me, this is definitely, I was really being, I really got soft here. And I said, Tim, it's okay. If you only make it 10 miles, that's freaking great. Whatever you can go, you just go, Tim. 10 miles is great. That's a huge accomplishment. And so we got up there, and I remember one of the ladies, when we signed up, she looked at Tim and she goes, whatever you do, don't quit. And I looked at Tim and I said, yeah, what she said. Drop those kids off at her doorstep. So anyway, we started the race. My original plan was for me to go to the finish line and then come back to Tim and finish with Tim. So I was going to run to the finish line and then come back to Tim. Well, so I took off and I ran, and I did okay. I mean, I'd run an event the weekend before, so I was a little tired. Fact is, I was a lot tired. By the time I got to the finish line, I called Tim up. He had his cell phone, I had my cell phone, and I said, hey, Tim, I'm like really tired, Tim. I said, how about we do plan B? I'm just going to wait here for you, right? And so then Tim goes to me, he goes, Bill, you know what? They're starting to take the signs down. See, the Sacramento Marathon is a 6-hour cutoff. The CIM Marathon, 6 hours. But I thought like all the signs would stay up for 6 hours. But what they do is if you're not going at the 6-hour pace, they start picking up the signs and all the directional, anything that shows you which way to go, they're picking up. He goes, the only way I know which way to go, Bill, is I'm following the goo wrappers on the ground. That's the thing the runners eat. And they were just the wrappers on the ground. That's how I know what way to go. And I said, well, keep doing it, Tim. You can do it. And then as soon as I hung up the phone, freaking a street sweeper came down the street sweeping up all the wrappers. And I thought to myself, Tim, you're screwed. Anyway, Tim, after that street sweeper got the wrappers, he did end up going off course. He went a mile off course, and he had to ask directions to get back on course, and he came a mile back, so he's 2 miles off course. He gets back on, and he continues going. He was telling me later that at this point he had blisters all over his feet. I'd given him some Vaseline or something and a little bit of tape, but I don't think it was doing that much good. He was covered with blisters, and he just kept going. He wasn't going to quit. And then I remember at 6 hours, at the 6-hour mark, everybody leaves, right? Everybody's gone. I go over to the race director. I say, hey, can I have a medal? My buddy's still out there. Almost make me tear up. Tim, you're making me tear up. And I got a medal for my buddy Tim. And then these other runners were sticking around. One of the race clubs sticks around, and it's really cool. And they root in the people coming after 6 hours, because 6 hours is not a slow time. And so you got to really move along in that marathon. And so they're rooting for the other marathons. I'm watching all these people come in, and I'm thinking, where's Tim? And then finally, I look up, see Tim coming up the home stretch. And I mean, I'm telling you, it almost makes me tear up. He came in, I don't remember, it was 7:30, 8 hours, something like that. And he came and crossed the finish line. And the guys there from that club, they put the medal over his head. And I remember Tim looked so freaking proud. He was in so much pain, though, he could barely move. And I remember I said, and he goes, Bill, I was the biggest guy to finish, wasn't I? I go, Tim, you were the biggest guy by 50 pounds. He goes, I was one of the oldest, too. I go, I can't give you that one, Tim. This gnarly 85-year-old guy kind of kicked your butt. And he goes, yeah, but if I hadn't gone that 2 miles out of the way, I would have got him. I go, you're right. You own that gnarly 85-year-old guy. He was right. And then we took Tim, and I went home. I drove Tim home. And I remember when I got to his house, his 3 sons came out. I think they're all in high school and just out of high school at the time. And they came out and they helped him in the house, man. I was thinking like, man, this is like huge. It really pumped me up. I was so proud of Tim. I couldn't believe it, that he had finished that thing. It was just amazing. And then the next day, because everybody at work had given him a hard time, they did not think he could finish a marathon. He wore his medal into work. The biggest guy to finish the Sacramento Marathon, probably ever, I don't know, 300 pounds, that's a hard one to beat. And my friend Tim, the king. So just remember, amazing comes in all sizes, even 300 pounds. And if you're interested, you can follow me on Twitter or Facebook. You can, if you have any questions for me, you can email me at epicbillbradley@gmail.com. And if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube account, I would really appreciate that. And you'll get these regularly, and you'll be the first ones to get them. And if you're interested in getting information on me talking to your team, your group, your organization, your company, email me at Epic Bill Bradley and we will get you some information out to you. Thank you very much.